Hey guys, I'm Eric with Extreme Terrain. And as you just saw and heard in this video today, we are checking out Flowmaster's American Thunder Muffler Delete Axle Back Exhaust with polished tip fitting all 2007 to 2018 Jeep Wrangler JKs. Now, as you just heard, guys, I'm giving this a solid 4 out of 5 on the loudness meter. Now, the 3.6 liter V6 that comes in your Jeep Wrangler JK is not a performance god, but you're gonna get the most out of your exhaust note with a setup like this, and that's due to the fact that we're basically eliminating the entire muffler from the rear of your JK. Now, every engine has its own kind of particular exhaust note, and the V6 is no different. And you're really gonna notice this on this exhaust when you're really hitting the gas hard in the upper RPM ranges, and that's when this really comes alive. Now, when you're just kind of cruising along at steady cruising speed, say 40 to 50, 60 miles an hour, and you're just kind of like laying off on the revs, it's a little noticeable but not overwhelming. And as soon as you start hitting on the gas again, that's when you're gonna get some more of that noise coming into the cabin. I wouldn't call it drone, but it's definitely a presence that is there throughout your drive. So this is not for the faint of heart. This is definitely a more aggressive exhaust system. Now, in addition to that aggressive exhaust note, the other bit of function you get with this setup is that it's kind of tucked up a little bit higher than your factory setup. This isn't technically a high tuck setup because it is below the frame rail here. So this is still considered low-hanging fruit. If you're out there on the trail and you're not being careful, you will scrape this before you scrape your frame. But this also comes wrapped up in an additional styling feature as well with the polished tip, and that's going to give you a bit of added appearance, and that is peeking out just a little bit. It's not overly noticeable, but you will notice it over your factory setup, which doesn't really have much going for it in the styling department. Now, Flowmaster is one of the more recognizable names out there in aftermarket car parts, and where that really comes into play is their use of premium quality materials. Basically, the pipe here that attaches to your factory setup all the way here to the tip is 409 stainless. That's a nice grade of stainless steel, and that's gonna prevent corrosion and weathering for a long time to come. And out here at the tip, they upgrade it to the premium 304 grade stainless, so you're really not gonna have to worry about corrosion anytime soon. Now, if you're really looking for that more aggressive exhaust note with a little bit of added styling, you're really gonna get a lot for your money here. This kit comes in under 150 bucks. And that's a pretty good bargain compared to a lot of other exhaust setups out there, especially if you were gonna shop to a more complete exhaust system, you'd be spending a lot more than that. Now, as far as the installation goes, guys, I'm giving a very basic 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Nothing too heavy here, very simple. We're gonna show you how to do it in just a second. And I would give yourself about an hour to get this done with some basic hand tools, and this is really not a difficult job at all. So let's take a look at the tools you're gonna need and go ahead with the installation. All right, tools you're gonna see in this video, guys, include an electric impact wrench, a 15mm socket, a small pry bar, and some PB Blaster penetrating oil. All right, guys, now we're gonna show you a clip of how to remove your factory muffler, and then I'll be back after that to show you how to get your new Flowmaster pipe installed.
So our first step is gonna be to loosen up our clamp on our axle back piping and our over the axle pipe. So I'm gonna use a 15mm deep socket and my impact wrench to do that. What we can do next is remove our exhaust hanger from the isolator here. I'm gonna use an exhaust hanger removal tool. You can use a pry bar, but this is a little bit easier, and you can find this at your local auto parts store. I would also recommend to hit it with a penetrating lubricant. I hit it with a little bit of PB Blaster to help this slide out of the isolator. Now we can go ahead, move that up and out of the way, and then we can do the same thing for the other side. What we can do now is just wiggle our axle back off of our over the axle pipe.
All right, guys, now we have our factory muffler off of the Jeep. I wanted to throw it here on the table for a quick side-by-side comparison, and what a dramatic comparison it is. I mean, obviously, we're talking about getting rid of this huge muffler, and we're basically deleting it altogether and reinstalling a basic pipe with a nice polished stainless steel tip. So you're gonna get added appearance and a lot more exhaust note from this kit from Flowmaster. So let's go ahead and get it installed. All right, guys, now to get this installation going, grab your new pipe here and a clamp, get it started. You're gonna want it oriented so that where we have to put the tool on will be accessible from down below here. Go ahead and get it started on the pipe. And then up into the hanger. Just make sure you have enough overlap here so that you don't have any gaps that exhaust gases could leak out. You want a nice smooth flow all the way out the tailpipe. All right, now using a 15mm socket, we're going to tighten this clamp down, get it oriented so you can get your tool on it easily. And just a little tip here, make sure that when you're holding this clamp, you don't have like your fingers right near the edge of it where it's going to start clamping down. It could pinch you pretty good there, so just be careful with that. And once you have that tightened up, just make sure you got the hanger in there solidly. And there you go. All right, guys, that wraps up this review and install of this Flowmaster American Thunder Muffler Delete Axle Back Exhaust with polished tip, fitting all 2007 to 2018 Jeep Wrangler JKs. And for all things Wrangler, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.